Hello folks, and welcome back to another Piggy live stream. So what are we going to be doing today? It's been a while since we've done a live stream, so I'm glad we're getting back and doing this stuff. We have a lot of things to cover, a lot of things to talk about. As you know, several things have happened in build mode, and we're going to get into them. I know there was a Piggy update. I actually have not seen a single thing about that. Maybe in the stream we can get to that. We have a multitude of different things happening in my Piggy build mode map. In terms of the updates, we have, I gotta turn the music down. We have the airport, as we know, that's been a big project on the list lately. I put the train station project off to the side for a little bit. The airport thing is a bigger project, and I want to conquer that, and I'm more interested in it right now. So we're gonna look into that. I have floor plans drawn out of the gate terminal that I've been talking about. I have notes that I want to go down with you because I've been typing up a whole list of different things. I have like very specific finite details about every little update that I want to happen in the near future, not just with one particular aspect of my map, but with the entirety of my map. I have been updating this, let's see, this graphics lately. The graphics, I've been having a lot of fun with that. So I figured, you know what, let's just, while we're here, let's talk about all the different things I've added so far. We have a slight incline, and the reason there is a slight incline is because we have a sidewalk here. I wanted to add in this circular design, and as you can see from the glitchiness, it's kind of not what I wanted, but it's everything I wanted minus the two little edges we have on the side right here, the corner things overlapping each other. But other than that, that's almost what I wanted. I wanted there to be like a little plaza, piazza, if you want to call it that, type of area. And then we have this beginning of a balcony. And I just want it to, I want it to be one of those things where, hey, this is the mall, and we're taking advantage of the location that we're in. We're going to have a balcony that points onto this gorgeous, magnificent view of the airport. Not even the airport itself, but the surroundings of the airport. There will be progress happening down here at the base. As you know, this museum type thing, it's like National Park Service Outpost, as it was originally called when I first started building it, which I didn't really want to build at all. But then I realized I wanted there to be like something blocking just walking up these stairs and going right into the path. I want there to be a barricade and not just a fence or a door or something. I wanted there to be an actual building, a little hut. So there was a small little building here, but then we completely expanded the size of it. We just kept adding it up, and it's not big enough to be like, well, it's almost big enough to be, but not quite big enough to be, as I said, a museum, even though that's probably what it'll end up becoming. But it could also be a place for the rangers, the park rangers. This is also a national park, to be housed and for them to live in. We have the Sᴜභ Athletic Club. I wanted to call it the Sᴜභ Athletic Field Club. They're not all fields, but I guess we could still call it that. So then we have the gatehouse here. This isn't really new. We added this gate. That's fairly new. I don't really know if I like it. It seems kind of obstructive. But the point was that this is also part of the club, and you also need access, and you also need like to show membership or whatever to become part of it. So then I'll talk about something recently new here. We built up this, and I'm gonna make a video about the importance or some creative uses on how to use certain pieces. And I think in that video, I'm gonna mention how this gate piece can be used in so many other ways than just a gate or a fence, if you want to call it that. So we have all these different gates used in different ways in the baseball field, the stadium, I guess you want to call it that. So we have the home plate here, and then the three bases, and then we have the mound here. And then we barely have an outfield, and I kind of forgot about that when I was planning this idea, but I mean, I wanted to stick with my plans. I didn't want to go off topic. And I thought this was the perfect area to put a baseball field. And I actually had to get rid of an awful lot of trees. And of course we have the track, and then the soccer field and the football field. But then something more recently new we've added is the basketball court right here. I had a lot of fun building. I was up very late last night building this because I wanted this to be in the stream, as well as the tennis court. For the future, I said there's also a future thing that I wanted to do. You know what? I'm gonna pull this up right now. I wanted to build a trail, a cross-country course, that type of thing in this mountain. And that's what I plan to do, but where would I build it? Where would I incorporate it? Well, the first thing I do is, I mean, like, sticking to the cross-country course idea, and then also kind of like a trail, maybe a dog trail or something like that. This would be the main drag right here. And what I do is I add more to the trees and foliage and landscaping on either side right here to make it feel like you're in the forest, and so that people from the street view could not easily see that there's a trail there and say, hey, there's a mountain with an obvious trail going through it. This mountain was built so that it could not be climbed. You'd have to get through this hut with the blue key card to get up to the top of the hill. We had a blank road that just went right here and had a very sharp turn right here, and then went right onto this road that went out to Main Street. But I decided, why not turn it so that it's unique and so that it's easier to continue with the speed you were going, or have a slight decrease in speed when driving, because I've tested it out a number of times with speed and driving in this map, that you're gonna have to slow down and completely stop your vehicle just to turn. And this is where the entrance to one of the train stations are going to be for the underground train station subway system that we have going on. And that's where it's going to go. I wanted to say, well, why would you guys care about these notes? But I'm thinking, you know what? This is extra content that we can put into these streams. So this is some older notes. And then I could have sworn I had something running. Of course, I have a waterfall project. Yep, we did that. Reconstruct for an island idea. So yeah, I think this might be under mountain or something. I don't know. Then we have all the details regarding the mall, which we'll talk about later. I have images. I have drawings of the mountain, of the map of the mall. So in the mall, we're going to have a bunch of different things, and I'm not going to talk too much about it. As I said, there's a video all on that. And then what else do we have? We have the train station that I mentioned. We have the airport, which we're going to be talking a lot about today. Mostly about today. Yeah, so that's essentially all we got right here. It's a very steep mountain. I would be impressed to see if we could incorporate the cross-country course or walking trail into this very steep mountain. I'm looking at it now, and I'm realizing, other than that custom-made trail that I built, it's going to be pretty difficult. So then also in this area, I might as well talk about the different things we have going on right here, because this is the arrival terminal. I'm kind of going out of order here, but I might as well just keep talking about it. We're gonna have a giant trunk of a tree similar to the one in this building right here. As this is the story is, this is some native tree. It's indigenous to this part of the land. That's what we're gonna say about it, and that's what there is to talk about it. And they're trying to preserve them because they're hundreds of years old. And so there's going to be at least one on each island or major landmass in this area. And that's going to be the root of it. That being said, the first floor right here is only going to be a few blocks high. It's not going to be, at least not more than 3 blocks at most. I want it to be rather low to the ground. I also want it to be not where the baggage claim is. Not where the baggage claim is. I want to have car rental services and access to a restaurant. I mean, I'm kind of repeating myself. A lot of the stuff I've already mentioned in videos, but then again, we have got a lot of new viewers here, so we're going to be covering a bunch of different stuff that we've kind of talked about. Right here, we're going to have a restaurant. It's like kind of limited space in what you can do here. I don't know where we're going to fit a kitchen. It might have to be like right here, something like that. But essentially, it's kind of like riverside eating. Right on the edge of this body of water here. And the reason this kind of goes down a block, we're not obviously, it's not going to be on the grass. There's going to be a different texture of wood or something that comes in here. And we're going to have like a nice deck. It's not going to be accessible by the road, by the way. And then there's going to be a wooden canopy over it. And I'm very doubtful that we're going to extend the second floor on top of this restaurant. I want this to kind of be like its own thing, even though this will all be in this log cabin type structure. It's very similar to this. They're all going to have the same style of architecture. I want there to be a lot of like noticeable similarities between the three major buildings. And speaking of major buildings, we're going to talk about the second part of this wing of the airport. It's going to have the baggage claim, but the ceilings are going to go very high. And most of the walls are going to be windows. This is going to be very similar to an awful lot of different maps that we have going on here. An awful lot of airports that you may or may not have seen. Speaking of a lot of airports that you may or not have seen, I want to talk about the next building, but I want to quickly review what's in this building because I'm not even sure if we've touched everything since the last video. So, of course, we have all the furniture here. We got a little bit of dead space here. I'm going to try to fill that in. Obviously, it's just completed for now. There's going to be more little things being added. I'm sure there's going to be a few notes and items placed in various spots around this area. We got like carpets, wood floors, and stone, kind of all mixing between each other with the couches right here. Relaxing space because you're about to get on this flight. It can be a very daunting task to try to get a flight, especially if you've never done it before. I can't speak to that because I've been on so many flights that it's fun. You anticipate it every minute of it's fun. Now, of course, there's stuff that can always go wrong, and that's why we have this type of area. So this fireplace, and as well as the rest of the building, but especially this fireplace, is very reminiscent and similar to, and it's loosely inspired off of the Wilderness Lodge, a Disney World hotel in Disney World. And that's what we got there. We have the different baggage claim, or not baggage claims. So this is like your airline company. You measure your bag. If it's an international flight, you'll handle it. You'll hand whoever it is, the clerk, your passport and that kind of stuff, and check the credentials, I guess. That's not the right word. And then you put it on this conveyor belt, and it goes, well, where does it go? Let's see. It's going to make this abrupt turn. Go under here, and I'm not going to show you the rest. We're just going to cut to the next scene. Essentially, it'll take you to the next building. That's a common guess. And then there's this little bridge here, which is also based on the bridge in Wilderness Lodge. So then we got these escalators compact right up against the wall here. And it doesn't matter, and I better point that out. It doesn't matter which escalator you take. It's not like one will make you bypass a certain area or not. Oh, I might as well point out these two are bathrooms. Right here. Very small bathrooms. So then, yeah, so either escalator you take, you're still going to have to go through security. Right here is, I guess, some reception desk of some sort. I guess they answer calls. They do that kind of stuff, paperwork, office-related stuff, HR maybe. So then the lanes divide, as you may know. And then now you're at TSA. Here, or that whole time you've been in TSA. So the guy, whoever it is, asks you a bunch of different questions, paperwork, that type of stuff. Maybe even a passport if it's an international flight. And then you proceed to security. Put all your belongings here, any metal things. And then once you're done, go here. Now, let's say the buzzer does ding on you, and you have, we'll say like container with more than 4 ounces of a liquid or something that would activate the security system. It's taken for further checking. One of these desks over here, and this is like this basically the security panel. As you see, there's a lever right here. That's not the only lever. I might as well point out another one while I'm kind of going really out of order right now. So how do we get into this building? You may notice the doors are locked. This is actually, I'm kind of copying myself basically. So that right here is there's this little forest area because I wanted there to be I wanted to incorporate nature as much as I could into this because, as we know, the airport experience can be, not is, but can be very, very stressful. I realize, no, never mind. So then you go through the forest right here, something I don't typically recommend, but you will need it in this case. You jump, oh God, wait, I need to, no, I'm gonna try it anyway. You jump up the side, it did not work that well. So you're on the roof. And this is in game mode, so presumably you're playing in the game. And then you jump through this little crack right here. The invisible blocks will make sure you don't go anywhere else. Right? Yeah, they will. And then you go through here, down the trunk of the tree, and into the base of the tree. There's a lever here, and that'll turn them on. And then you get a nice wide shot. This will be your first view of the interior, and the interior is very, very beautiful. So having that as your first view of it, considering that this is your first time in the building itself, I think that's quite amazing to see. And then going back to where I was, that's the lever for that. There's some more security tapes and stuff like that. But then you're gonna walk your way, let's see, all the way down here. And now that lever over there opened up these doors as well as that door. So now everything can go through. The reason that door is locked, by the way, is so that you couldn't bypass security. And I might as well take you there now. Take you to where the airplane would presumably be. So what you do is, once you make it through these doors, I'm probably gonna put a sign of some kind right here explaining where to go, what amenities are this way. So you can either go this way or you can take this. I think it's called, like, what is it? I don't know what it's called. Conveyor belt. There's a fancy term for this. I don't know why I'm forgetting it. So then there's come sight see historic Sᴜභꜱ city. So the story behind Sᴜභꜱ, I might as well mention that. This is also an I created. I mean, the name is loosely inspired off of something else. And that's all based on another TV show that I'm not going to explain right now, but I've explained it on many other videos before, so you can go check them out later. And then you just walk down here, and I'm trying to keep the style going. I could have made this all cheap and gray. That kept that whole color scheme going, but I made sure I kept the stone, the wood, the lighting, this nice log cabin, ski resort type feel. And then you have this nice shot looking onto the river that'll essentially lead out into the Sᴜභꜱ Ocean. I don't know if that's going to be the name or not. But then you can also see kind of the landscaping around it. And there's also just a nice place to sit, too. And now, what now? What now? We're going to explain what we have now. I am going to, presumably every time I'm going to be referring to the floor, I mean, with the exception of maybe down here, we're going to be talking a lot about this second floor here. First floor, there's a few things that I want there to be. And I'm going to start with this right here, this side road right here. This side road is going to turn somewhere into here, into this area. This is where trucks and other airport-related vehicles access the main gate terminal. This is where oil tankers are. This is where food stock loaders for the airplane, all those types of vehicles that you need to work with the airplane. the guy that guides the airplane that connects to the front wheel and kind of drags it with it. And then a bunch of other things. That'll go here, and that might even continue into this area. But essentially, that's what the first floor does. And then over here, this will not have anything to do with cargo-related stuff. If anything, I want this to be some nice bar, like a bar and grill type thing. And I want it to be out in the middle of this nice foresty-looking area that does look onto the river. I want there to be trees, but enough so that you can also see the river. But here, I want you to forget where you are. So I made sure this was all green, all greened out, so that you could not see beyond here. Because we all know on the other side there are these loud planes with giant engines and causing all this kind of noise. So that, and then this will be essentially an outdoor patio right here. I might even have a bar out here too, just looking at how big it is. I may not, but I'm obviously gonna have a bar in here. And essentially they're gonna take us stairs down, because as you see, they're gonna have a whole floor that you can meander with a bunch of different winding paths. And I might as well just show you the drawings that we have, because I do have a floor plan, a brief sketch. There's not much detail to it, but there's a brief, subtle idea of what I have planned for the future of this. So there we go. There it is. So for the floor plan we have, I'm pointing with my mouse right here. I realize it's not effective. So from the top left, as you can see, you can kind of see what the triangle is where we just were. And there's a winding paths throughout that floor. This is on the second floor, by the way. And all those thick lines represent doorways. So you come in, and where those lines that are on... I don't know how to describe this. This is really hard to describe. I should have had a key. That's something I forgot to do. This was a rushed drawing, I guess, or not a confirmed drawing. Yeah, so all those squiggly circles with a smaller circle inside of it are trees. And then the outlined line, that's not the right term at all, or along the border of the building, the big rectangle. Those are where the windows are. And so that's why I have the paths lining up with windows. And then there's a pathway that goes right through here, and there's a grill looking thing, I guess you could say, with a bunch of little lines on it in this smaller rectangle in the bottom left, right in the smaller rectangle, right in the smaller of the larger rectangles. And that's supposed to represent the lobby or the top floor of the bar and grill. Those stairs will take you down. Those stairs will take you down into here, right here. And then when you get back, that's what we have there. And it obviously obviously you see this rectangle is much thinner and longer than the square shape that we gave it right here. But it's the whole floor plan's gonna look different. And then you have the patio. So there's gonna be a window looking onto the patio, and then beyond that in the river. That's gonna look very cool. And I didn't want the reason why I have all these different winding paths in different ways, I did not want it to be a clear path. I was inspired by two international airports, by the way. They were much better than a lot of the American airports that I've been into. I mean, some of the American airports are great, but I was blown away by the London Heathrow Airport and the Rome Airport, the Leonardo Fuccinio. I didn't say that right, but that's what I was inspired off of when I immediately went into that I think of the right word. There is a right word, but I don't know what it is. In that space, in this area, I hate using that word so many times. I noticed there's so many different winding paths. Some went this way, some went that way. Now all these top of the line different stores perfumes, expensive handbags. I don't think I'm gonna have as many of those types of stores in this airport, but I want to have a lot of convenience type things, stuff you can easily grab, a lot of food, smaller stalls, and everything is going to be as compact as possible. And then there's going to be bright lights lighting up the whole hallway, marble floors, white marble floors, and as you see, it ends on the right with a ramp. The ramp is going to take you up to the third floor. The third floor is going to be the floor that has the high ceilings. It's going to be by far the tallest of the 3 different major sub buildings, I guess is the right word. Out of these 3 different buildings. So this large building, as you know, is the main building. It's gonna be much taller in height than the rest of them. So that's where it's gonna take you. But once you get down, you also notice there's this outline right here, along the bottom, and along the right of it. That is where the gates actually are. The gate from that 3rd floor to your airplane. And so in that space right here, we have the staircase that comes from the 3rd floor down back to the 2nd floor, with windows going along the main wall, the exterior wall, looking onto the beach, because beyond the runway is the beach. And so all these different tube looking things that have thick lines on either end of them are the little connectors between the airplane itself and the building. And there's a bunch of different ones, and as you know, they're not all gonna fit. I'm not gonna build a bunch of different exact airplanes, but that is where the exit is gonna be. I've been thinking of this for a long time now. People say, well, is your map escapable? Can we escape it? Do you have the white key door? Those kind of questions. And I have ideas, believe me, I have ideas, but I always said no. No, it's not yet escapable yet. We're thinking about that. We're looking into it. My original idea was, hey, that cruise ship idea that you may or may not have remembered, that I brought up what seems like yesterday, but it was probably a while ago. That idea has been scratched officially. I don't think we can do that in this specific map. I definitely want to have that in a map. I've been thinking about that a while. I've been on a number of different cruise ships, and I think I have a lot of experience that I could, or not experience, just things that off the top of my head that we could totally apply to the building itself. So that's what I want to do there. And as you see on the top right, that's where the road is. And then on either side of the big giant rectangle, there are these 2 tube-looking things connecting to the building. Those are the skywalks that we're going to have. So we have the first one right here, but there's going to be another one. Yes, another one. People are like, oh, well, why couldn't you just like build here? Why can't you just fill in a few more of these? The idea is I want to have a bunch of different, multitude of different. What is that? Oh, that's a light block. So I want to have a multitude of different body of water features, different landforms, and all that kind of stuff. So I want to have this swamp area here because we have a waterfall. We have the nice stream, this river. Then I also want there to be an in-between of land and water. So that there isn't enough force from the ground acting upon the building so that I could not put a foundation down. So there's going to be a skywalk over that, which is a shame, but I just want to make sure there's a lot of difference in there. And then it's going to go over the road. There's going to be a little bit of shade here. I might have an awning. Oh, and that's, yeah, speaking of, I will, because I have these columns here. The columns are going to also come out here. We're going to be doing a bunch of buildings today, but there's an awful lot to explain because we've done an awful lot in this map. So the building's only going to get bigger from here. People are like, oh, well, you say this is one of your biggest buildings, but this looks like by far the smallest building that you're going to have on your airport area, this whole airport terminal. Well, it looks like it's going to be very small because, first of all, you have this parking lot, parking garage, which is going to go up about 3 stories. And if that's what you're going to have here, and then what are you're going to have what? Your car rental service and a bunch of other smaller things. And then on the second floor, you're going to have a tall room with high ceilings and the baggage claim. How are you going to fit more than one baggage claim in this space? And my answer to that is the second floor is going to go on top of the road. It's going to extend out. So not only are we providing shade for the people who have exited the airport as they load their suitcases onto their taxis or their car or their Uber, whatever it is, to take off, but they can, but it's given us also more space to work with, a lot more space to work with. So that is a lot to think about. Also, right here, I didn't touch on this. This is going to be another restaurant because I wanted there to be something, and it's just like, well, what is it going to be? What are you going to put a store here? I don't see you putting a store here with a nice patio looking onto this, and I thought, okay, maybe this could be a different kind of restaurant. So we're going to look into that. So I am looking forward to all the different stuff that we have to talk about here. I think we can get into building. How about we play the map? You know what? Let's play the map first. Let's just jump right in, play the map. Come on in. The Roblox username is MGVCHANNELYT. Should I play this with Swampy? Actually, no, before I do that. I think what? No. Okay. I don't really like that new feature that Roblox added. It locks your... Oh. I started. I didn't know I did. Now we do have one person with us, but let's see if I can go. Roblox is giving... Oh, I'm the trader. Did I automatically win? I do have someone here. This is going to be an adventure. Yeah, it's giving me a blank screen here. I think we're going to have to stop the game. I can't move my mouse. Yeah, now it's giving me the loading screen symbol. I can't see anything. I'm in the map, and I'm laggy. That's good to hear that I'm not the only one. Yeah, so like most of my streams, or like all of my streams, I want this to be cut down, as you notice. This is gonna be a long time. It seems like it's still loading. Okay. What to do. Okay, I cannot move. Let's see, just the music is dying. What? Wow, the quality of the stream. I mean, this minus the lagginess. Obviously, minus the lagginess. I am impressed. Completely impressed by the amount of just the quality, just all the different things different components we've added in, the different shots. Wow. I mean, I did want to bring in my Mac camera, see if that will do anything, like as another angle. But then I realized the qualities of the two versus the webcam we have here and the Mac camera, totally different. They were not compatible, so Yeah, so if we hit 1450 subs today, we will be playing your Piggy Build Mode maps. I'm looking forward to doing that. I really want to do that. As you noticed, we're having some technical difficulties with my map. I mean, I'm really looking forward to it. Oh, and to answer your question, no. No, I'm not gonna type that one. I'm gonna say that on stream. Uh, did my PC crash? No. This first of all, this is not a PC. I'm on a Mac right now, and actually, I learned how to do the universal control. So I hooked up one of my iPads, and I said, you know what, we're gonna test this out. Despite there being a few minor bugs and problems and little things that I would like to complain about, I think it's working pretty well. Look on the Discord server real quick. Yeah, the mouse is totally gone. I can't do anything on the computer right now. I could use keyboard commands. Can I? Command Q, please. Okay. Can I play music? There. I can only stop the music. Turning out very good. I don't know if that's a new one. YouTube notifications. What specifically? Memes? What are we looking for in the Discord server? So, yeah, so we just canceled that whole thing. We just canceled that whole thing. I just had to command quit out of that. We're gonna go back into Roblox and just test it all out. Let's just see what that's changed anything. Play my maps. Yeah. So go into the Discord server too. That's a great way of communicating too. I mean, the chat's right in front of me too, so that'll work. No, it did not crash. I'm still here. Am I still here? That's a good question. I don't even know if I am. Let's see. Live. No, yeah, my face is still moving, so I'm still here. Yeah, so this part will most definitely be cut out. As you've noticed, I've been playing a bunch of these different games here that are based on mobile games or other stuff. There are some very good replicas of the stuff portrayed in Roblox, and I was blown away by that. I was playing them late last night, and I was just surprised just how accurate they got a lot of the stuff. So we're gonna go in. I really want to play some other maps. Is the music really crashing? Here, let's see. Blown away by it. I was playing them late last night, and I was surprised just how accurate they got a lot of the stuff. We're gonna go in. I really want to play. Yeah, you're right. The music is crashing. I hear the music. I did not hear the music though. To answer your question, I did not hear it on the other end though. I hear it through here though. Build mode, I guess, is what we have to do. So then I've also been adding a lot of trees to the mountains because I noticed how they lack trees. So I've been adding an awful lot of trees. Want to add more to the wilderness part of it because I want to make it look like this was at one point a whole natural mountainous landscape with rivers flowing in the middle of it, and waterfalls and all that natural stuff. And then we'll say settlers or colonists just came into this area, named it Sᴜභꜱ, and they immediately took action, laid down asphalt roads and concrete sidewalks, and started erecting different types of buildings, such as stadiums, malls, hotels. Then they added the first city hall / state capitol type building, where their government was. Wow, it's still lagging. I mean, I'm not. I shouldn't say I'm surprised. I'm not all that surprised. Oh gosh, I should fix the. So if you have not already, make sure you are subscribed to the Piggy Plus YouTube channel to see more Piggy Build Mode content. And this is why I've been doing a lot of recordings lately, because your connection timed out. Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea to to build on stream, especially, it'll not save. I can see that being an issue. I don't think we can do anything with the map, but essentially I did explain to you all the different things we've done in the. I think I might go in and I want to test out a bunch of other things we've been doing. What is this? Oh. How long have we been doing this? For almost an hour. Okay. That's good to see. We're already an hour in. And I haven't even started building yet. I think that's pretty good. Let's see. Let's see, does this work? Maybe we'll just warm it up. Warm up the game. Yeah, this wasn't a great idea, I guess. Roblox is giving me a night. Oh, that happens all the time. I anticipate a jump scare. Look what I'm doing. This is ridiculous. I am playing the game with the title graphics still on screen. That is just beyond words. How totally confusing. Oh, there it is. So can I get its attention? No, I can't. No, I'm about to though. No, it's not doing that. No. No, I just wanna end it. Totally wanna. Okay. I did that intentionally. Took me a while. There, I got the wire. There it is. No, it didn't see me. It didn't see me. No, it did see me. I can't even mess around with that because I don't even know what the. I'm just at a loss of words of what to say. I gotta reset that thing. You can't have the title screen when you're trying to play a game. I'll fire it up again. See what we can do. I think what we got was pretty good so far. I mean, even if that wasn't, I realized it was too laggy. I do think some of the graphics were pretty good that I used in the stream. I mean, that's not a big factor of the stream. Error: YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain routine. As such, viewers will experience buffering. Oh. That's what happens when you play build mode. I'm just gonna leave it at that. That's what happens when you play build mode. Is it right when I clicked on join my server? Oh, now that's an issue. Let's see what we got in the. Oh, so people are still playing. Oh, that's one more thing I got to mention. I have to mention that. I definitely want to play around with the map if I can't do anything else, because I don't think it's safe to build in the map. I think we have learned that the hard way, and I'm slowly trying to end the progress or end the near the completion stages of the map. So I definitely want there to be such. I want there to be a completion stage. I want it to be able to say, well, here is the end of the map. Here is the border of the map. And I did that early on in my map. And I said, you know what? I do not want to have myself having this crazy idea of expanding out this way because I totally could, but I'm gonna limit myself. I'm gonna say no, you cannot build this way because you need to have borders, you need to have boundaries, you need to have a map a certain size. Oh, I can't jump because I haven't turned this on. So at least someone else is in here. That's good to hear. I think I want, if I were to play the map, I've tried it a few times. I think it's interesting playing it, or a few times. Tried it more often than, why the heck is this opening? Oh my gosh. It just randomly opened up DaVinci Resolve. Why would it do that? Just force quit. Come on. There you go. Okay. Yeah, then the computer's really going to crash when you open up another editing software. You can already see it's starting to look good for the most part. And there are quite a number of exceptions. No, it's starting to open up again. Quit. Oh, shoot. I didn't mean to say that. Okay. And I built something I didn't want to build. That's Piggy Plus for you. Okay. I didn't want to be walking. Why am I walking? Yeah, this game really tests your patience when you're laggy and you're on the stream. There we go. And that's what we got. So I think I mean, it may make too laggy. I might give it a try. But I noticed this train station, it's called talk about limiting yourself right here. I am only giving myself the space that I built out right here, but I could totally expand it out by so many more blocks in this direction or even the other direction as well. Right? Other direction? Sort of. To a certain point I can. I mean, if I wanted to pull this out and say, hey, we're going to pull out this section to push back the staircase, because as you guys know, the staircase, there is no walking space back here. And that's not a good thing. So we're going to have to change that around. That's just going to be something weird that we're going to have to deal with. But I think other than that, that is basically all we've gotten for the map. I will say I am very impressed by and that's basically, I mean, it looks so much better with lighting. I don't know how OBS is rendering the quality of the game right now, but go into this map for yourself if you can. I recommend on a desktop or a laptop or something like that, because it'll crash if you haven't done that already. So, but I'm going to leave you with a list of some of the future projects we're going to work on in the near future. Obviously, the airport is something we're going to be talking about a lot. I mean, that's something that's still we're avidly working on right now. But then the mall is something I'm not going to touch on right now. I have all the notes and everything written out and all the ideas, all the finite, specific, very small details. I have that all out of the way. I have that on the Google form or whatever I said, the Google Doc. Might as well pull that up while we're talking about it. So I have all of that stuff pulled up. I have notes for the Sᴜභꜱ airport. Of course, it's not giving me what I wanted. And then we also have a bunch of different things regarding here. We have I just finished up for the most part the Sᴜභꜱ Athletic Club, which is on top of the mountain. I'm very impressed with the basketball courts and the tennis court that we just built last night. So that's a very new thing. The baseball field / I guess you could say softball field. I'm sure there's a difference between the two. That's something else that we just recently added. But that was in the idea. That was in the thought process for quite a while sometime. And we finally got that out of the way. The hotel is always going to be receiving updates. It's always in need of updates. I could say the same thing about the stadium. So nothing major is happening there. The train station is another project we're working on, but I've kind of put on pause for the time being because we have other projects, namely the airport. The airport, most of that I just want to get. That's that's the main project that we're all looking at right now. But then the train station's something that'll follow suit slowly behind it. And then over here, I might just turn this into a river. I wanted this to be some sort of hospital, some type, but that would be just one more building that we needed. And then right in here where the car repair shop is, that its days are numbered. That's eventually going to become you know what? I have something in the notes. I mean, I'm talking to you about it off the top of my head, but sure, there's something I'm missing that I mentioned in my notes. So here we go. We have future projects. I better pull this up on OBS. We got some future projects here. We got stuff that's on existing land. We have the park on the top of the mountain, which we got out of the way. The Italian restaurant, Ristorante, where that's going to be... God, this is going to be a lot of back and forth, isn't it? So that is going to... Oh, that's going to be... No. That's going to be out over here. This is very laggy. So laggy. We're going to also have to add lights to the Sᴜභ Athletic Club. I realize there's nothing there. So we're going to have to do that. So the restaurant's going to be out beyond this mountain. This is the base of that mountain. So then we also have the train station, which we talked about. Shifting McDonald's. That's something that may never happen. It's not officially guaranteed. We may add a place, like the playground. We may raise it up a block or two. And then we might have a hospital coming soon. I want to have a French creperie / restaurant. And then we're going to have a beach surrounding the borders. And so those are all the main projects we have in this map. If you guys want to see a review or a tour on any one of these specific buildings, I have a whole list of different videos you can go check out. It's called My Huge Piggy Build Mode map. It's a playlist that we got. The link is in the description. I want you to check that out right now. So go ahead and do that. And if you like this video, make sure that you press the like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel and tap the bell icon to be notified when we upload a new video so that you won't miss out on live streams that just abruptly happen like this. And I will see you in... Wait. I gotta play the music. Obviously I have to. I mean, who would I be? Piggy Plus, not playing the music. Why would I do that? I don't think I have music prepared for this. And then, something else I want to talk about. I was recently in London, and I noticed, nope, that Irish pub can't stay the way it is. I mean, it's great. It's beautiful, and I love every bit of it. But it's missing, and this is missing so much potential and accuracy, to be quite honest with you. People say, oh, you're from London. Well, you said Irish pub. Kind of merged together. I mean, they're both pub-oriented food kind of stuff here. Can I fly down? Can I drop there? So here we go. So there's going to be like some black front to it. I think that's what it really consists of. I just want to make sure OBS is doing the right thing. So we got close to what I was hoping for in this stream, but we didn't really get there all the way. Waiting for this whole thing to load up here. And then we're just going to play some outro music if I can ever find it. And that's what we got. So, just going to find some of the music here. Yeah, I think I'm just going to leave it there. If you guys like this stream and you want to see more streams like this, feel free to go and subscribe and press the like button. And I will see you in the next stream.